Yeah, same thing. Yeah, it's the same skill.
Okay, I successfully make a disguise roll by 1.
Okay. That's good enough to basically alter the illusion so that the three of you all look like alien soldiers. Is that the idea? Okay.
Okay.
All right, now what?
Well, if we could access their tech and take a look at the ship as far as where we could go. I mean, if they have other prisoners, we should probably free those people.
Yeah, I think finding the prison is actually a fairly interesting place to get to.
Yes.
So, do we have any way? Do we have any idea how to navigate this ship? Is there any?
I don't know. Do you have any way to? You tell me.
Is there a control
I
panel?
don't know. I mean, is there signage? I know it would not be in a language we can read, but is there signage?
Not that you can. I mean, there's not. It's not labeled this way to the bridge. You get the impression they don't get a lot of tourists. So.
Okay.
Well, he pointed this way.
He did point this way.
There's a whole lot of ship that direction.
We can keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, we can walk with purpose. Gets you a lot of leeway.
It's certainly not a bad plan. I'm trying to think if we have anything better. I mean, the only thing, I'm gonna fire off Mage Sight just out of curiosity. Let's see if there's anything interesting going on.
Absolutely. Nope.
Nope.
They do not appear to be using magic here.
Okay.
But
It's
it's
always
good
just
to
worth a
confirm.
check.
Absolutely. All right.
For sure.
Perhaps I could still be a form of prisoner by being somebody just slumped over, that you have to take me to the brig for misbehavior in the combat. Perhaps I was a coward in combat. I know it's impossible to conceive of, but perhaps I was a coward in combat and I am off to the brig, and we could just convincingly ask somebody which direction to the brig.
Do we have communications between the three of us?
Yes, the three of you have. Yeah, you have your team contacts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I have both stealth and shadowing. I could follow the commander that we just sorely disappointed and see what he says and does.
And see where he decides to go to be disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna have to go be disappointed somewhere.
Okay, so you're gonna pull a ninja routine and.
Yeah, I think so.
I like that idea that we hang out and you go.
I mean, if you can find where the prisoners are being held, if there's any prisoners.
I also have some stuff, but it's not quite as good as yours.
Yeah. Well, I knew that.
But I could be stealthy in other directions, I suppose.
I don't want to know what that means.
All right, so give me. Do you have shadowing as well as stealth?
I do.
Give me both.
So stealth first.
Sure.
I also have tracking if that helps, but I don't think
That's
it
not
does.
going to be needed here.
Okay.
So.
Okay, 9. So by 6 for the
Excellent.
stealth.
Okay, and shadowing.
Oof. 10. So that is by 2 on shadowing.
Okay. So that's actually the stealth is basically mostly to keep yourself hidden, and the shadowing is more to keep him in sight. He's not really looking around, and if he does, he sees a soldier,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't really pay much attention to you before, other than to yell at you. So
Yeah.
you're not sure he'd recognize you again if he tripped over you.
Yeah.
So it's actually fairly easy to follow him. And you guys, if you want, can then follow basically behind him in a not in a sneaky way, but
Using the comms, right?
Right, exactly. You can follow his comms. Okay, that's actually really easy.
Cool. Great.
Okay, so he goes he goes stomping down a couple corridors and blah blah blah. And when you get out of the boat bay and into the corridors, then you do start to see more what looked like crewmen. It's very obvious that most of what was in the boat bay were ground troops. These are more sailors rather than soldiers. They're all still, I mean, the same race. They're all obviously all still military, but it's more sidearms rather than rifles. And they're less marching and more just like, walking around because we work for a living. And they get there, and I said that just for the Navy guy. So, and they, but you follow him, and he gets to basically gets to an end, and there's comes to the end of a corridor, and there's guards posted on either side of the door, so it's important.
Mm-hmm.
And he walks up, and the door snap open. He walks on, and you can see what looks like some kind of command center behind him, and then the door closes.
Okay. And I'm paying attention as we're walking through this hallway, what kind of cultural cues, people step aside, do they salute as they walk by, that, just so I can reference it later
Cool.
as needed.
Okay. You do get a few random glances like, what are these three mooks doing wandering around the area? Shouldn't they be down? Whatever. But nobody challenges you.
Okay.
It's more of a, what are you guys doing?
And our uniforms are basically the same, just different rank or insignia or something?
Yeah, well, you guys are dressed as ground troops.
Okay.
And you're kind of in the part of the ship where the grunts don't hang out much. So that's the only reason you get a few stray glances, but that's it.
Got it.
Okay. So you've identified what you think is maybe the ship's bridge or some kind of op center or something. So.
Does your character have any technological skill?
So these guys seem obviously more relaxed, right?
A little bit, yeah. And no, all the tech savvy characters are not appearing in this module, sadly.
So getting a radio working.
So I'm gonna grab one of the guys who looks like a more regular crewman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pardon me, I came out of the bay. I totally lost. It's my first time going. I'm supposed to find the brig, the prisoners.
The prison deck?
Yes, I got some.
Give me an acting roll, just to look convincingly. Yeah, okay. So that was an easy one.
Oh, it'd be really easy because I didn't do particularly well.
Oh, did you miss it? Or
I did.
Oh, I couldn't see what those numbers were.
No. I did particularly bad. I don't do quite that bad. That's much better. I definitely made it by a lot that time.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So
I
you
failed by 2 on that one. I was
Ouch,
like,
okay.
I don't think.
All right. You are can play dumb more convincingly this time. And he just kind of looks at you with this kind of like really patronizing stare. It's like, see the 2 general's guards standing outside the door? That's a clue. And walks off. So, just because they're relaxed doesn't mean they're not assholes. But he did confirm that's the. Oh no, I'm sorry. You asked for the prison. You asked for the prison.
Prison, not
Not
the
Rewind.
I am like, why are they keeping prisoners in the command deck? I
Alright.
am so lost now.
GM misfire. Yeah, he says you want D deck. Take the lift down to D deck, and it's right there.
What deck am I on now?
A deck.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're learning something.
Yeah.
This is good.
So yeah.
Did he point at anything when he told me A deck? Did he point at some symbol somewhere?
No.
Or did he just say A deck? Okay.
He gives you a decent set of directions.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I was wondering if maybe he'd end up pointing to some sort of a symbol that I could then recognize in the future as being
Oh.
A.
deck or some sort of identifier.
Would have been nice. No luck. No luck.
With this general lack of signage, they must have this problem all the time. Ship of this size.
I like being able to play an idiot.
Awesome.
All right.
Though I failed my acting
So
roll.
prison
obviously.
deck or bridge? Brig or bridge?
Let's go. I think he brig first.
Yeah, let's go on the DL first, and then we bust in and start.
Busted. Yeah. And start pressing random buttons and moving little sliders where they weren't previously positioned.
Yes.
So we go to the lift.
Okay. And you know, there's a light on this button, and if you count 4 down from that and push that button, you're hoping that's D.
Yes.
And it opens up, and you walk out, and you basically you're able to follow the directions and get there.
And there's no like badging in or credentials that anyone is asking.
There is
for.
actually, when you get there is a credential in. Basically, as you get to kind of, there's the reception door or whatever, and the guy says, well, what do you want?
Tell him to look at this guy. No, that's what I'll tell him we were looking for C deck.
This is D deck, you 1 up 1. And you've learned now that they can roll their eyes.
Okay.
So
That's good. We're
that's
learning
good
some
to know.
biology.
Right, absolutely. So that's important.
Oh,
It does look like this area is fairly heavily, not heavily guarded, but you're not gonna get in or break in without causing a bit of a ruckus.
Yeah.
Is there are we able to at least kind of, are they transparent enough that we can see some of the prisoners?
Not really. You can see that there's like some doors down there,
Mhm.
but from where you are, you
Do
can't.
those doors appear to have some sort of access control on
Yeah.
them? Okay.
Any monitoring devices like security
Not from where you
footage
can see.
that, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Having used our C deck excuse, let's get back on the elevator and go back
Sounds
to A
good.
deck. Because we started on A, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So
So we get on the lift, and I turn to you and I'm like, you idiot, we could have confirmed if the human prisoner was brought to this level and then gone to double check. Now we can't use that.
sorry.
How are we gonna find out what's behind them?
We have a couple of possibilities.
For one, we can have one of us arrested.
That shouldn't be too hard.
Um,
Drunk and disorderly? Do you think you can
I
get
was
drunk
thinking
on...
cowardice in combat might be a big problem for these people.
we have invisibility as an option.
But you still have to get someone to open the
The other
doors.
thing the other thing I will point out is we can change the look. We can be a totally different batch of idiots 30 seconds from now.
Yes, although your knowledge of I almost said Torian physiognomy, I mean, you're kind of winging it with the
Yeah.
changing subtle facial features. You
I mean,
kind
the
of
good news is we've got lots of examples to look at.
Okay, yeah, that's true. You can look like that guy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fair. So in the interest of time,
Okay.
we're running out of time. So basically, tell me what you want to do at this point. What the plan is here.
I think we want to find out if there are prisoners and rescue them, and then head to the bridge and see what we can.
We need to find out what the big overarching plan is if there's an invasion of
Well,
Earth
the other
coming.
thing is that if there are prisoners here, they may very well know more about what's going on than we do.
Right.
Well, you do know that, at least as far as you know, they didn't take any, or at least not a lot of prisoners during the fight.
Right.
No, we're correctly saying he said with the other prisoners. Didn't he? Wasn't that what he said? Or was
I
that
think what he said, or at least what the GM meant to say, was take him to the prisoner deck.
Okay.
So there was no. Sorry, I got the implication that there were.
Throw him in with the others.
That there was.
If I gave that impression, that was
Okay, that was
not
fine. Okay, all right.
Okay.
So there may not be anybody to rescue.
Right, and if what they were after was this Briel imposter, then Earth